Welcome to this Bridge to Teaching faculty orientation module for the Jesuit Commons Higher Education at the Margins program. In April of 2010, Father General presented Jesuit Commons to a worldwide assembly of Jesuit educational leaders in Mexico City. Father Nicholas reminded us of the commitment of the Jesuits and all lay partners to serve those at the margins. Your willingness to volunteer to teach refugees who hunger for education is doing just that, serving those at the most rugged margins. Thank you. Mary McFarland is my name. I serve as the International Director of Jesuit Commons Higher Education at the Margins. Without you and your colleagues who volunteer to teach, this initiative would not be possible. All of us with Jesuit Commons Higher Ed at the Margins are especially grateful to Regis University for serving as the awarding university for the Diploma in Liberal Studies, to Dr. Marie Friedman, who serves as the academic coordinator, to the universities who have contributed courses, JesuitNet for production and curriculum support, and especially we are grateful to each of you for volunteering to teach. In the spring of 2010, a generous donor founded a pilot program that lasts until 2014. Jesuit Refugee Service, or JRS, approached Jesuit Commons to ask if Jesuit higher education could be brought to some of the refugee camps. JRS serves over 50 camps, and it is often thought that refugees live in these camps for only 3 or 4 years. Current data, however, from JRS shows refugees live in the camp an average of 18 to 20 years. That's why higher education is so needed now. After a comprehensive assessment, 3 camps were selected for the pilot. Kakuma Camp in northern Kenya, which is home to 84,000 refugees. Dzaleka Camp in Malawi, home to 14,000 refugees. And in Aleppo, Syria, Iraqi refugees, where thousands live in urban settings. During the pilot time, 2 cohorts will graduate from this Diploma in Liberal Studies program, and hundreds of refugees will engage in certificate-based community service learning tracks. The students you will teach will be in the diploma program. They are refugees, and approximately 10% of the students are from the host community where the camp resides. Many refugees were studying at a university when the war broke out and they were forced to flee their home country. They come from 8 different countries, a majority from the Congo, Somalia, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia, and the Sudan. English is a common language and most speak at least 4 other languages. Very few women are allowed an education through secondary school, so a majority of the diploma students are men. Women are strongly encouraged to apply for higher education, and many are beginning to work towards that goal by participating in the community service learning tracks. The age of your students will range from early 20s to late 40s. One refugee told us that if he had to choose between food and education, he would choose education. Without education, the refugees tell us of the feeling of losing hope. The refugees build a home for their family, and it is usually a very simple one-room hut. This becomes important for you to know because there is no electricity in the home, so students study primarily during the day. Some have kerosene lanterns to study at night, but kerosene is expensive. The hope of most of the refugees is to return to their home country. This education would prepare them to serve their community for a better life. They truly want to be men and women for others. Jesuit Commons Higher Education at the Margin has built an Arupe Learning Center at each camp. The internet was brought to each center and computer labs have been installed. Electrical surges and power challenges are common everywhere, especially power surges in Dzaleka Camp, so solar energy is used there. That lab is equipped primarily with laptops and a few multi-point server stations. In Kakuma Camp in northern Kenya, the Arupe Center is powered by generator, and the hope is to install solar this year. The lab there is primarily a multi-point server lab with a few laptops. Some of your students were familiar with the use of computers before admission and others were not. The on-site team, who you will work closely with, is key to working between you and the students. They can help the students get comfortable with logging in and posting. You will meet the on-site team through Blackboard, and please keep them informed of any concerns that you have about a student's progress. The students are really excited to engage in this academically rigorous program. They expect their grades will reflect how well they meet the learning objectives. Later in this orientation video, you're going to meet faculty and tutors who have taught the students, and they will provide their insights and suggestions. For example, we have learned that when grading papers, it's important to consider if the student has gotten the thought across, instead of grading for grammar and style. The tutors and faculty will all address this challenge later in the video. Because life in the camp is challenging, there may be times when a deadline needs to be adjusted. The on-site tutors will communicate with you should an adjustment be requested. Sometimes water, lack of food, and health challenges, things like malaria, dysentery, they confront the students. If you suspect a problem, please ask the on-site tutor to follow up. Your students will arrive every day. Some will take over an hour to walk to the computer center, and they come looking forward to your feedback and comments because you will become a very important part of their life. If your schedule causes you to be late with grading papers, that is understandable, but please let the students know when you will have their work back because any communication from you is so helpful and valued. Because the faculty and students form a special bond, the topic of gift giving has come up. Please remember your teaching is the gift you give, and we ask your help not to send other gifts. The camp is a very complex community, and gifts, while well-meaning, can cause jealousy and other problems for the student and on-site staff. It is also important that you know that students have signed an agreement not to ask faculty for any personal support. Support such as finding a relative who resettled, sending money, forwarding personal email for them. It can be hard, but please remember this is an academic program and students should make any personal requests through the camp system of NGOs. It has been interesting that some faculty have actually revised their US-based courses based on feedback and insights from the refugees. All past faculty have shared how meaningful the experience has been and how touched they are by the commitment of the students. Bringing Jesuit higher education to the margins could not happen without you. Thank you and best wishes.